Three women walked out of a house on East 10th Street in broad daylight. One of them had just stabbed a mother of 5 twice in the back and once in the stomach. They drove away. They went home. They showered. They put the clothes they were wearing in a washing machine. And then, when police showed up, they smiled for the camera. That footage broke the internet. But here is what the internet did not tell you. The case has moved. The charges have been upgraded. The bond is now $15 million combined. And the motive, the one answer everyone is waiting for, has still not been named. You are watching Darkness of Beneath Crimes. Subscribe right now. Because we did not come here to scratch the surface. Her name was Caroline Pena. Not the case. Not the arrest video. Not the viral smirk. Her name was Caroline. Her friends called her Caro. And before this video goes 1 second further into what happened to her, you need to know exactly who she was. Because this story has been reduced to a moment. A grin through a patrol car window. A mugshot. A headline. And Caroline Pena was none of those things. She was 32 years old. She was a twin. She had 5 children, including a 17-year-old son who was nearly ready to graduate, and 2 children with autism who needed their mother every single day of their lives. She woke up every morning carrying the weight of those 5 kids and somehow made it look effortless. Her childhood friend Zelina Ochoa said she was the kind of woman who would give away her last dollar if someone needed it. Not almost give it. Give it. Without hesitation. Without keeping score. Her best friend of 8 years, Christina Salinas, said they were like sister-in-laws and best friends at the same time. Inseparable. The kind of friendship where you text every morning just to ask what the plans are for the day. Not because you need to know. Just because hearing back makes the day feel right. Ochoa said something that has stayed with everyone who heard it. She said Caro was one of those people who was born to be a mother. Not made into one. Not trained into one. Born to it. The way certain people are built for certain things. Caro was built to be the center of her children's world. And on June 25, 2026, that world collapsed. Now hold that image. Because everything that follows is going to try to replace it with something darker. Do not let it. June 25, 2026. Del Rio, Texas. A border city of 35,000 people, roughly 150 miles west of San Antonio. The kind of place where you know your neighbors. Where the same families have lived on the same streets for generations. Where a busy corner near a Sonic restaurant is just a regular part of a Thursday afternoon. Police received a call at 2:10 p.m., not from a witness at a crime scene, not from a neighbor who heard screaming, but from a hospital. Caroline Pena had already arrived at Val Verde Regional Medical Center with multiple stab wounds. She had not been found. She had been brought in. She was already bleeding when the first call came in. Here is what surveillance cameras captured in full. Caro drove a black pickup truck to a home on the 800 block of East 10th Street. She had a reason to be there. Police Chief Frank Ramirez confirmed it publicly. The 4 women knew each other. They all lived in Del Rio. This was not random. This was personal. Something existed between these women before June 25th. Something with a history. Something with a weight. And detectives are still working to name it. What the camera did name, with total clarity, was what happened next. A black Chrysler 300 pulled up. 2 sisters stepped out. And Amaya Cookie Diaz, 19 years old, was already holding something in her right hand when she got out of that car. Not after the argument began. Not after voices were raised. When she stepped out of the Chrysler. The probable cause affidavit is specific. An object believed to be a knife, in her right hand. Before the confrontation even escalated, she walked toward Caroline Pena with a knife already in her hand. On a residential street. In the middle of the afternoon. With a surveillance camera pointed directly at her. What happened next is documented in the affidavit line by line. Cookie struck Pena in the back. Blood became visible on the back of Caro's shirt immediately. Then Kitty Mia Diaz, the older sister, 21 years old, joined in. Then Kyandra Renee Faz, 21, the woman who owned the house, joined in. 3 against 1. On a residential street. With a weapon already drawn. And Caro's friend Christina Salinas later confirmed what the wounds actually were: stabbed in the side of her stomach and twice in the back. The wounds punctured her lung. One lung punctured by a knife while she stood on a sidewalk in her city in the middle of a Thursday. And here is the part this story demands you sit with for a moment. Caro fought back. That girl, she was a fighter. Those are the words her friend used. She was still standing her ground. Surrounded, outnumbered, wounded, standing. Because that is who she was, not who the headlines made her. And that fighting spirit is the last image we should carry of her before this story turns to the people who allegedly took her from her children. The attack was eventually broken up. And the 3 suspects did exactly what you would expect from people who planned what they allegedly planned. They left. They walked away from a woman with a punctured lung on East 10th Street and they drove away in the black Chrysler. They went home. They showered. They changed their clothes. And the clothing that the surveillance camera had recorded, the exact outfit Cookie was wearing when she allegedly approached with the knife, was placed inside a washing machine. Spinning. While Caroline Pena was being transferred to a trauma center in San Antonio. Spinning. While Caro's best friend Christina Salinas was rushing to the hospital to say goodbye before the airlift. Spinning. While 5 children still did not know what June 25, 2026 was about to mean for the rest of their lives. Detectives moved fast. Surveillance footage. Physical evidence. Witness interviews. All of it processed within hours. Within roughly 2 hours of that first hospital call, investigators had identified 3 suspects and were already moving toward an address. By approximately 4 p.m., less than 2 hours after the investigation began, officers located Kitty and Cookie Diaz at a home, took them into custody without incident, and arrested Kyandra Faz shortly after, and what happened during those arrests became the image the world could not look away from. A journalist who responded to the scene told the New York Post that he saw the first suspect get into the car and thought nothing of it. Then the second one caught his eye. The window came down. She stuck her face out. She stuck out her tongue. She was grinning, goofing off his words, like nothing happened. Footage showed Kitty in a black tank top and tight shorts, smiling after the arrest. Her sister Cookie allegedly giggled and yelled at a cameraman to stop recording, while being placed in handcuffs, while a woman she allegedly just stabbed 3 times was in a San Antonio trauma center fighting to breathe through a punctured lung. Stop recording. She said stop recording, and she was smiling when she said it. Del Rio Police Chief Frank Ramirez was asked about that footage directly. About the grins. About the tongue. About the total absence of any visible weight in that moment. He used one word. He called it callous. The chief of police, describing the behavior of his own arrested suspects with a single word, callous. That is not a word law enforcement reaches for casually. That is a man who has seen violence and its aftermath for years, and was still disturbed by what he watched. Now here is what has changed since that footage went viral. This is the update nobody else has fully covered yet. Following Caroline Pena's confirmed death that night, prosecutors upgraded the charges. All 3 suspects, Kitty Mia Diaz, Amaya Cookie Diaz, and Kyandra Renee Faz, now face first-degree murder charges. First degree. Not manslaughter. Not aggravated assault. First-degree murder in the state of Texas. The following morning, Justice of the Peace Jesse James Trevino set bond for each defendant at $5 million. 3 defendants. 3 bonds. $15 million total. and all three of them requested court-appointed attorneys. The smiles are gone. The courtroom does not have a camera through a window to perform for. And the reality of first-degree murder charges in Texas is not something that grins can push away. Here is what that means legally. Texas does not handle violent crime gently. A first-degree murder conviction in Texas carries a sentence of anywhere from 5 years to 99 years in prison or life. Texas also has the death penalty. Whether prosecutors pursue that depends entirely on the evidence they continue to build, and the investigation is still active. Additional charges may still be filed. The motive has not been publicly named. Police have not ruled out the possibility of additional arrests. That last detail is one the internet has almost entirely missed. Police have not ruled out more arrests. That means investigators may still believe someone else was involved in what happened on East 10th Street. That question has not been answered. And that is the thread this channel will keep pulling until it comes out. So why does the motive still matter even with surveillance footage of the attack? Because motive is the difference between first-degree murder and something else. Motive is what tells a jury this was planned, that Cookie did not grab a knife in a moment of panic, but walked out of a black Chrysler with it already in her hand. Motive is what makes premeditation visible. And premeditation in Texas changes everything. If prosecutors can show this attack was planned, that those three women made a decision before that Chrysler pulled up, then the path toward the harshest sentencing in Texas becomes clear. The knife was already in hand when the door opened. The affidavit says so. The camera recorded it. And the grand jury indictment that is still pending will determine how far prosecutors are willing to push that narrative. Stay with us, because there is more coming on this case. And we will be here when it does. Something else demands to be said before this video ends. Zelina Ochoa, the childhood friend who met Caro years ago when they were both teen mothers learning to navigate school and motherhood at the same time in a program called Cradles in the Classroom, said something after the arrests that every person who has watched that smiling footage needs to hear. She said those girls are in jail. And eventually they will see their own kids. But Caro is a memory now. Those kids were left without a mom. Think about that sentence. The suspects will see their children from behind prison walls. Caro's 5 children will grow up without her entirely. A 17-year-old about to graduate. 2 children with autism who needed her every day. All 5 of them building a future in the permanent shadow of June 25, 2026. No verdict changes that sentence. No conviction gives those children their mother back. Christina Salinas, Caro's best friend of 8 years, missed a call from her that afternoon. She was at work. She did not pick up. She later found out through a photo circulating in a community page that something had happened to the woman she described as her sister-in-law and best friend all at once. She rushed to the hospital in time to say goodbye before the airlift to San Antonio. That hospital corridor goodbye, rushed, surrounded by machines, the clock already against them, was the last time she saw Caro alive. And she will carry that missed call for the rest of her life. Not because she did anything wrong. Because that is what grief does. It finds the one moment it can attach itself to and it never lets go. The GoFundMe setup for Caro's family raised only a small fraction of its goal in the first day. Her 5 children are still here. Still needing. Still growing up without the woman who was born to be their mother. If you want to do something beyond watching this video, find that fundraiser. Put Caro's children in a better position to face what is coming. This case is not over. The grand jury indictment is pending. The motive is unnamed. The possibility of additional arrests has not been dismissed. The surveillance footage that captured everything has not been publicly released in full. The full truth of what existed between these 4 women before June 25th has not been told. And when any of those things change, darkness of beneath crimes will be the first place the full story gets told. Her name was Caroline. Her people called her Caro. She was born to be a mother. She was 32 years old. She had 5 children who needed her and a twin sister who will spend the rest of her life carrying the other half of a bond that cannot be replaced. She was funny. She was loyal. She had an infectious laugh that filled every room she walked into. She would give you her last dollar without thinking twice. And on a Thursday afternoon in June, she drove to a house on East 10th Street in a city where everyone knows everyone, and she never drove home. We are not finished covering this. Subscribe to Darkness of Beneath Crimes right now. Turn on your notifications. Hit that like button. We have another update coming on this case, and it contains details that have not been reported anywhere else. You do not want to miss it. We will see you in that video.